Hello, you are listening to Everyday Superpower, the place where we talk about body language, we talk about human dynamics, attraction, repulsion, everything in between. Okay, we got two links in the description of this video. One of them links will take you to the Dictionary of Body Language. It's a playlist I've composed of my own material, teaching you how to read the minds of others through their own subconscious characteristics, behaviors, and everything in between. All right. Second to that, we have a link to the Patreon where you will watch with me people going on their first dates. We'll be able to define attraction cues, repulsion cues. You'll internalize that, apply that into your own life, and you will understand where you're going and how to navigate and maneuver through attracting women. Let's make it plain and simple. Now, let's move on. I've got a conversation for you. It's about vulnerability, yeah? Be vulnerable and allow others to be vulnerable about you, okay? This is a dating context. I try to throw it in there, okay? But generally speaking, if you want to create friendships, great friendships, long lasting friendships, it's also, my apologies, it's also an incredibly beneficial tool. And if part of your character that you are an honest individual as far as explaining your situation, who you are, where you've come from, and what touches you, people will look at you as somebody other than the next person who feels like they have to have their walls up. So I'm not saying you need to be an incredibly emotional individual who needs to offload all of their problems onto other people. That's not the case. You do not want to be that person, right? But I made a note in regards to vulnerability, and it's metaphorical bringing down of the walls. Okay. When the walls are down, you'll both be facing each other dead on. There'll be no obstacles between you. All right. So you hear about, oh, to be an alpha male, you need to be cold as ice. You need to be stone solid, impenetrable. You need to be this, that, and the third. You're not human when you're like that. You're not engaging, you don't create connection on an emotional, let alone a spiritual basis with the next person, if that's the case. Now, let me re elaborate and let me re-orchestrate the message I said when I said you don't need to express this incredible gushing of emotional weight upon the next person. We're not asking to do that, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. I hate that. I'll be dating someone and they'll be so negative, and who wants that? It's not attractive, it's not appealing. I'm not here to save your life. I'm not here to take your baggage. I'm here for a good time. If you got stuff going on, let's talk about it in an honest manner. I'm interested in you and we can talk about that. And I can relay my personal experiences into the mix to have you know we're one of alike and we are human, because you don't get that from other people. All right? But we're not just going to sit around and wallow in self pity. We're here to have fun and understand each other and communicate to a deeper depth as to what you get from the next person, right? That's what makes me special. Yeah? I feel heard. I feel seen. That's what they'll tell you. I feel vulnerable and it's incredibly attractive. I know you understand me. Everybody wants to be understood. So when you're out there talking with people and you feel that let's talk about the nonverbal, yeah? Somebody has said something to you, spoken about a past experience or something they're going through, and you see their fist clench, you see a sneer on their face, and it's counteractive to the message they're actually putting along. You can chime in and say, you don't really feel that way, do you? Or you can say, you're angry at that, aren't you? And they'll be blown away, thinking, how? Yeah, you know what? I am uncomfortable about it. And they will express themselves to you more. And they will think and understand and know that you're special because you're paying attention to them. You're not sitting there just waiting to talk and mouth off. You're there involved in their world, yeah? You're there listening. You are submerged within themselves. You're under their skin. And when you're under their skin, how much further must you go to touch their skin, to embrace in love inside of them? You know? It's a taste of things to come. It's romance. It's intoxicating. And everybody wants to be heard, but nobody wants to hear. Because everybody walks around wanting to be heard. And because nobody feels like listening to the next person because they want it for themselves, nobody ends up listening. When it comes to this game, it's about observation, it's about listening, paying attention, and in doing so, I swear to you, I am wholeheartedly honest in saying to you, 90 of 100 people, if that, you know what, I'm going to be so bold as to say, you will put yourself ahead 95% of the competition. If she's to go on a date with this person, that person, that person, and that person, and you go forward and you actually pay attention and spend more time listening than talking, she's going to feel so much more attracted to you than the next person. You know? If this was sales, we're going to be listening to selling points here. We're going to be able to understand what she's looking for and as to whether we fit that criteria. And we can put forward our characteristics and understandings that apply well to her needs and necessities as far as a relationship, a friendship is concerned. Whereas the next person doesn't pick up on that and is too busy just waiting to have someone listen to him blurt out about some shit she doesn't even care about. Because he's talking from a masculine perspective. He's talking about what he'd talk about with the boys, that the boys would care about. She don't care about that. This is some game right here. This is some game right here. If she asks you a question, you listen to it, you think and you answer. It's vulnerable to put herself in a position as to where she's looking upwards to you, looking for assistance, help, and an answer. You allow her into that space. Vulnerability is a beautiful thing. If you're comfortable with yourself, your downsides, and how you feel when it's not an overcompensation or whether it's not an insecurity, you can talk wholeheartedly and honestly about that. I'm different to everyone. You're different to everyone. And that's what makes you special. You don't have to fit in. And when you expose yourself in an honest manner, where you are different and more than happy about that, that's the vulnerability we're speaking of. Nothing can harm you. You can't be harmed. You're so comfortable in your own skin that it will attract everyone and anyone because everybody is craving what you have because everybody has insecurities, right? It's a beautiful and brilliant thing. So vulnerability is incredibly important. If you were to take it further and further and further and you got into a relationship with somebody, that vulnerability is important, that honesty is important, that understanding of each other is important. I'm still telling you, you don't have to give her everything because she doesn't want everything. She doesn't want the negatives. She doesn't want the sorrow, the sadness. She doesn't want you breaking down and crying on her. Maybe not yet. If that's who you are, I never turn out. Oh, don't let a girl see you crying, all this and that. I couldn't care less. I'm not going to stop you from being you, but you need to withhold so much to ensure you're not a completely open book and she can fantasize about you and imagine who you are. And you can give her an insight to your depth of character through expressing this vulnerable nature of yours, but not giving it all away to the point where you are just finding someone to be your therapist. That's not the case. And that shouldn't be the case on her behalf as well. You don't want to go on a date and have someone just offload all this negative energy on you. To me, it's not even a red flag because it's not even like an indication of what's to come. It just quite simply is a character trait I am not interested in. Whether you be a man or a woman, don't come into my life and just start expressing this negative vibration. I'm not going to meet you on that level. It's boring to me. You know? So there's a difference as far as vulnerability is concerned. Coming to you and, well, disallow the next person. This is you. You going forward and saying, sorry, I'm a little bit late. I've just had some incident over there, but you know what? It's cool, it's calm. I've left that to one side. I'm here with you now. How are you? And then you hear her out and she expresses herself. And when you start to speak honestly with each other, it has a knock-on effect. It's transactional, you know? As you start to express the inner depths of your soul, she will do so to you, and you will create a connection that goes above and beyond any other communication she's had with anyone, including her parents, including her family, including her closest friends. You will become supernatural. You will become magic. Those are words I've heard to describe me as far as my communication is concerned. Because I'm larger than life when it comes to it. Enjoy that, embrace that, it's a beautiful thing. And on that note, I'm signing out. Click like and subscribe. Peace.